Hello. Welcome to E.O. Smith Drama Club's production of Alice in Wonderland. We would like to remind you that no cameras or cell phones are permitted during the show. Please remember to socially distance and wear your mask at all times. There are 4 exits in the auditorium. 2 are located in the back of the theater, and 2 are located off to the sides. The running time of the performance is 1 hour, and there will be no intermission. Enjoy the show!
Oh dear, I shall be too late! Oh, my poor paws! Oh, my ears and whiskers! How late it's getting! Oh, the queen! The queen! She will surely have me executed! Sure! Oh, my. What a fall. I'm not hurt, am I? No, I don't think so. Oh, I wonder how many miles I must have fallen down that hole. Why, I must be somewhere near the center of the earth, but wait, no, let's see. That would have to be just about 4,000 miles down. Yes, that has to be the correct distance, but what latitude and longitude have I got to? I wonder if I fell right through the earth. Oh, but how funny it'll be just to come among the people who walk with their heads pointed downwards. Oh, I shall have to ask them the name of the country, you know. Oh, please, ma'am. Is this China or Australia? What an ignorant little girl she'll think of me for asking. Oh, no, it'll never do. Perhaps I'll see it written somewhere. Oh, my poor paws! Oh, my ears and whiskers! Oh, the queen! Well, excuse me! What a curious rabbit, but nicely dressed. Now, how shall I get out of here? If only it were not so dark. Oh, dear! Oh, dear! Oh, dear! There you are again, White Rabbit! Please stop, won't you? Sir, wait! You're dropping blood! Excuse me, little girl! Wait a moment. That girl looked an awful lot like Alice, or like me, since I'm Alice. But if I'm Alice, who is that? Another Alice? Is that possible? No, just how peculiar everything is to them. But there has to be someone who can help me. Someone who can just point me in the direction home. I'll figure out where I am first. That's the most logical. Oh. Hello? Oh, hello! I know someone is in there!
Oh, what is it now?
Where's the servant whose business it is to answer this door?
Which door?
This door, of course.
The door? What's it been asking you?
I don't know what you mean.
I speaks English, doesn't I? Or are you deaf? What's the door been asking you?
Nothing. I've just been knocking at it.
Shouldn't do that. Upsets it, you know? You let it alone and it'll let you alone, you know?
Well, could you tell me then, where am I exactly? I've been trying to figure it out and...
Care for a nut?
Oh. No, thank you. Sister said not to take nuts from strange squirrels. Or was it candies from babies?
Suit yourself.
State your business. For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet. From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet.
Excuse me. Did you hear me knocking? I've been knocking for quite some time.
There's no sort of use in knocking, and that's for 2 reasons. First, we're both on the same side of the door as you. And secondly, they're making such a noise inside no one could possibly hear you.
Well, please then, just tell me how I'm to get in. I wish to see the Duchess.
There might be some sense in your knocking had the door been between us. For instance, if you were inside, you could knock, and we would let you out, you know.
But how am I to get in?
We shall sit here till tomorrow. Till tomorrow. Ooh, or the next day, maybe.
Well, would you just please tell me how I'm to get in?
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question, you know. On and up. Ooh. days and days.
But what am I to do?
Anything you like.
Oh, there is just no use talking to either of you. You're perfectly idiotic. I guess that you don't need to knock, after all.
They all can, and most of them do.
Well, I don't know any of that too.
You don't know much. That's a fact.
Please! Please! Mind what you're doing!
Oh, whenever they're minded their own business, the world will go round a great deal faster than it does.
It just wouldn't be an advantage. Just think of the work that it would do with the night and day. For you see, the Earth takes 24 hours to round its axis, and 24 hours, or is it 12?
Oh, don't bother me with that. I hate numbers. I speak roughly to my little boy. I beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it pleases. Ooh. I speak severely to my boy. I beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it pleases. Ooh. Here. Oh. You may have some of it if you like. I have to go get ready to play croquet with the queen.
Right. Well, if I leave you behind, they are surely to kill you in a day or two. And would it be considered murder if I leave you? Don't make a grunt. That is not at all a proper way of expressing yourself. My dear, if you are going to turn into a pig, I will simply have nothing more to do with you. Curiouser and curiouser. Oh, just how your cat. Would you please just tell me which way I have to go from here?
Well, that depends a great deal on where you want to get to.
Oh, well, I don't really mind where.
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
So long as I get somewhere.
Oh, you're sure to do that if you only walk long enough.
Oh, would you please tell me what types of people live about here?
Have a seat.
Oh!
In that direction lives a hatter, and in that direction lives a martyr. What is it either you like? They're both raving mad.
I don't want to go among mad people.
You can't help that. We're all mad here. When I'm mad, you're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be here. You would not be here.
Well, then how do you know you're mad?
Well, the way I see it, a dog growls when it's hungry and wags its tail when it's pleased. And I wag my tail when I'm angry and growl when I'm pleased. Therefore, I'm mad. baby? I've nearly forgotten to ask.
It turned into a pig.
You know, I thought it would.
Right, well, I have seen hatters before. The March hare would be much the most interesting, and perhaps as this is May, it won't be raving mad. Or at least not as mad as it was in March.
Did you say pig or fig?
I said pig, and I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing as suddenly as you do. You make one quite giddy.
Okay.
Huh. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin. But a grin without a cat? Huh. It really is the most curious thing I've ever seen in all my life. Which way did he say to go? Oh, it's, Oh, what? Oh, there's plenty of room.
Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Well, then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know that this was your table. It's laid for a great many more than three.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is Raven like a writing desk?
I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean that you think you can guess it?
Well, exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. But that's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. You might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might as well just say, I like what I get. It's the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
Oh, it is the same thing with you. What day of the month is it?
Before.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best butter.
Yes, but some crumbs must have gone in as well. You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife.
It was the best butter, you know.
Well, what a funny watch. It tells you the day of the month, not the o'clock.
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Well, of course not. But that's because it stays the same year for such a long amount of time.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't quite understand you. The dormouse is asleep again.
Of course. Just what I was going to remark myself.
Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea. Nor I.
Nor I.
You should all do something better with the time than just wasting it, asking pointless riddles that have no answers.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say you never even spoke to time.
Well, perhaps not, but I do know that I have to beat time when I learn music. you know?
Not at first, perhaps, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked.
Really? Is that the way that you manage?
Not I. We quarreled last March, just before he went mad. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at." You know the song, perhaps?
Oh, I have heard something like it.
It goes on, in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. Well, I had hardly finished the first verse when the Queen of Hearts jumped up and bawled out, "He's murdering the time! Off with his head!"
How dreadfully savage!
And ever since that, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason there are so many tea things put out here?
Yes, that's it. It's always tea time and we've no time to wash the things between whiles.
So then you would keep going round, I suppose.
Exactly so. As the things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Oh, I'm getting tired of this. I vote Dormouse tell us a story. Wake up!
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you were saying.
Tell us a story.
Well, yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time,
Hey! Hey, he's asleep!
Wake up!
they lived happily ever after. Good night.
What a wonderful story.
The ending was my favorite.
Oh, I like the beginning.
But there wasn't a middle.
Take some more tea.
Well, I've had nothing yet, so therefore I can't take more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than less.
Well, nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
But what exactly happened in the story?
With a clean cup. Let's all move one place over.
Really? Oh, okay. Are you sure about this? Because really, no, really, I don't think.
Then you shouldn't talk.
Why? This is the rudest tea party I've ever been to in all of my life! Oh,
No room, no room.
no, wait, please. Please come back. Oh, please, there's plenty. There's plenty of room. I said that. There's plenty of room.
Very provoking to be called an egg. Very.
Oh, well, I said that you look like an egg, and some eggs are very pretty, you know.
Some people have no more sense than a baby.
Wait. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall with all the king's horses and all the king's men. Couldn't put Humpty together again.
Don't just stand there chattering to yourself like that, but tell me your name and your business.
Oh, well, my name is Alice.
That's
What?
a stupid enough name. What does it mean?
Must a name mean something?
Of course it must. My name means the shape I am, and a good handsome shape it is too. With a name like yours, you could be anything, almost.
Well, would you tell me then, why is it that you sit out here all alone?
Why? Because there's nobody with me, of course. Did you not think I would know the answer to that question? Ask another.
Well, don't you think you would be much safer off the ground?
Why such easy riddles you ask? Of course I don't think so. If I ever did fall, which there's no chance of, but if I ever did, The king has promised me, with his own very mouth, to
send all of his horses and all of his men.
send all of his horses and all of his men. They'd pick me back up in a minute again. This conversation is going on a little too fast for my pace. It's my turn to choose a subject. So here's a question for you. How old did you say you were?
10 years and 6 months.
Wrong, you never said a word like it.
Well, I thought you meant how old are you?
If I'd have said it, I'd have meant it. 10 years and 6 months, an uncomfortable sort of age. If you'd asked me my advice, I'd have said leave off at 10. But it's too late now.
Well, I never ask advice about growing.
Too proud?
It's just that one can't help growing older.
One can't perhaps, but two can. With the proper assistance, you could have left off at 10.
Well, what a beautiful belt you've got on. Or your cravat, or your... Oh, I beg your pardon.
It is a most provoking thing when a person doesn't know a cravat from a belt.
You're very right. It's incredibly ignorant of me.
It's a cravat, child, and a beautiful one, as you said. I got it from the king and queen for an unbirthday present.
Really? But what's an unbirthday present?
A present given when it isn't your birthday, of course.
Well, I like birthday presents best.
You have no idea what you're talking about. How many days are there in a year?
365.
And how many birthdays do you have?
1.
And if you take 1 from 365, what remains?
364, of course.
That seems to be done correctly, though I haven't time to see it done properly on paper just now. Anyway, that means there are 364 days when you may receive an unbirthday present.
Well, certainly.
And only 1 for birthday presents.
You know, you seem very clever, but really, I must be going.
Do as you wish. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and until we meet again.
I shouldn't know if we ever did meet again. You look so exactly the same as other people.
Well, the face is what one generally goes by.
That's just what I complain of. Your face is the same as everybody has. 2 eyes, nose in the middle, mouth under. It's always the same. Now, if you had the eyes on the same side of the nose, perhaps, and mouth on top, that would be some help.
Oh, well, that wouldn't look very nice.
Wait till you try.
Really? Of all the most unsatisfactory people I have ever met.
Did you happen to meet any soldiers as you came through the woods, my dear?
Yes, several thousand, I should think.
The king sent 4,207. That is the exact number. I couldn't send all the horses, because the king wanted some for the croquet game. I couldn't send the 2 messengers either, because they've both gone into town. Just look along the road and tell me if you see either of them.
I see nobody on the road.
I only wish I had such eyes, to be able to see nobody. And at that distance, too. Why, I can hardly see real people in this light.
Right. Well, would you tell me, do you happen to know where the queen is today?
The queen's down that way. What do you want to see her for?
Oh, well, I don't know where you see it.
Well, that's obvious, otherwise you wouldn't want to see her.
Well, I'm just trying to get home. I really wish that you could talk.
He can talk, if there's anybody worth talking to.
And can all of the flowers talk?
Why, as well as you can, and a great deal louder.
It really isn't good manners was for us to begin, you know, and I really was wondering when you'd speak.
Her face has got some sense in it, though not a clever one. Still, her petals are the right color, and that goes a long way.
Well, I don't care about the color. If only her petals curled up a little more, she'd be all right.
Well, aren't you sometimes afraid? Just being planted out here all alone with no one to take care of you.
Why, there's a tree in the middle. What else is it good for?
But what's it to do if any danger comes?
It says bow wow. That's why its branches are called boughs.
Didn't you know that?
Oh, silence, all of you! They know I can't get it done. Nobody dare do it. Quiet! I will kick you! That's right. The daisies are the worst of all. Once one start, they all begin together, and it's enough to make one wither to hear the way they go on and on.
Well, how is it that you all talk so nicely? I have been in many flower gardens before, and none of the flowers could talk.
Reach down and touch the ground. Then you'll know why.
All right. It's hard, but I really don't see what that has to do with it.
In most gardens, the flower beds are much too soft, so the flowers are always asleep.
I never thought of that before.
It's my opinion you never think at all.
Oh, hush you! As if you know what's going on in the world more than if you were a bud.
Well, have you seen any other people in the garden today?
Why, there was another flower in the garden that could walk around just like you. I wonder how you do it.
Really? There was another little girl in the garden, and does she look like me? Exactly?
Well, she has the same awkward shape as you do.
Your petals were tumbled about like yours too.
But that's not your fault. You are beginning to fade. And one can't help one's petals getting a little tiny.
Well, when you last saw her here, do you remember when?
Why, there's already been 2 of you today, so dare I say, you'll see another one soon.
No.
I'm sure.
No. When you last saw her here, do you happen to recall which way she went?
Where are you coming from? And where are you going anyways?
I seem to have lost my way, I'm afraid.
I don't know what you mean by your way. All the ways here belong to the queen.
If I recall, the last one went that way, towards Tweedledum, Tweedledee.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee. You mean like the poem?
You know it, don't you?
Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Agreed to have a battle.
For Tweedledum said Tweedledee.
Had spoiled his nice new rattle.
Just then flew down a monstrous crow,
As black as a tar barrel.
which frightened both our heroes so.
They quite forgot their quarrel.
Let's see.
If you think we're waxworks, you ought to pay, you know. Waxworks weren't made to be looked at for nothing, nohow.
Otherwise, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak. Oh, I'm sure. I'm very sorry.
I know what you're thinking about, but it isn't so. Nohow.
Contrawise, if it was so, it might be. And if it were so, it would be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic. Right. Well, could you please tell me which is the best way out of these woods? I've been trying to keep...
You've been wrong. The first thing in a visit is to say, how do you do, and shake hands.
Oh, well, it would never do to say, how do you do? Now we seem to have gone beyond that point somehow.
Nohow, I'm thinking
Ditto. Ditto. Ditto, ditto. Oh, hush. If we keep making so much noise, I'm afraid we'll wake him.
Oh, well, it's no use you're talking of waking him when you're only one of the things in his dream.
You know very well you're not real.
I am real!
You won't make yourself a bit realer by crying. There's nothing to cry about.
But if I wasn't real, then I shouldn't be able to cry.
I hope you don't suppose those are real tears.
Oh, I just know that you're talking nonsense. Really, it's foolish to cry about it. But I should be getting out of these woods, for it's growing rather dark. Do you think it's going to rain?
No, I don't think it is. At least, not under here. No.
But it may rain outside. It may, if it chooses.
We've no objection, contrawise.
Oh!
Do you see that?
That is only a rattle, not a rattlesnake. Just an old rattle. Quite old in it. Broken.
I knew it was! It's ruined, of course!
You needn't be so angry about an old rattle.
But it isn't old. It's new. I tell you, I bought it yesterday, my nice new rattle.
Let's see here.
Of course we're going to have a battle.
Very well. Well, only she must help us get dressed up, you know.
It works.
I hope you're a good hand at pinning and tying strings. Every one of these things has got going somehow or other.
Really? Wait, the two of you will just be bundles of old clothes by the time that you're ready. Please tie this thing firmly around my neck. What for?
To keep my head ready for what else? You know, that's possibly the most serious thing that can happen to one in battle. Getting one's head cut off.
Here. All done.
Do I look very pale?
You know, just a little.
I'm very brave generally, only today I happen to have a headache.
And I've got a toothache. I'm far worse off than you.
Well, then the two of you better not fight today.
Oh, we must have a bit of fun. I don't care how long it lasts. What's the time now?
4:30.
Let's fight till 6 and then have dinner.
Very well. And she can watch us. Only you better not get too close. I generally hit anything I can see when I get really excited.
And I hit everything within reach, whether I can see it or not.
Oh. Okay, so the two of you must hit the trees pretty often, I should think.
Oh, well, I don't suppose there'll be any tree left standing by the time we finish.
And all of this about a rattle.
I shouldn't have minded it so much if it hadn't been a new one.
You see, I really just wish that this monstrous crow would come already and frighten them both away.
There's only one sword, you know, but you can have the umbrella. It's quite as sharp. Only we must begin quickly. It's getting as dark as it can.
And darker.
Why, it's so dark. There must be a thunderstorm coming on. Oh, look there. What a thick black cloud that is. And how fast it comes. Why, I do believe it's got wings.
It's the crow!
It's the crow! just at present. At least I knew who I was when I woke up this morning, but I fear I must have changed since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
Well, I can't explain myself, I'm afraid. For I don't feel like myself today, you see?
I don't see.
Well, really, I can't put it any clearer than that, for I don't completely understand it myself. All I know is that changing is very confusing.
Oh, but it isn't.
Well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet, but one day when you turn into a chrysalis, and you will, and then after that a butterfly, I think that you may find it just a bit strange, won't you?
Not a bit.
Oh, you may have not found it so yet. All I know is that it would feel very strange to me. You! Who are you? I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
So you think you've changed, do you?
I'm afraid I have. I don't appear to be the same person at all.
Being one person's overrated. Who do you want to be?
Well, I'm not particular as to who. Only one should feel like oneself, you know.
I don't know.
Oh, there she is!
Who?
Oh, Alice. I mean me. Just, the girl who looks like me.
You asked me, that girl is you.
But if she's me, who am I? Wait. Hey, where are you going?
Look out now, Five. Don't go splashing paint over me like that.
I couldn't help it. Seven hit my elbow.
That's right, Five. Always put the blame on others.
You'd better not. I heard the Queen sailing yesterday. You deserve to be beheaded.
What for?
That's none of your business, too.
Yes, it is his business, and I'll tell him. It was for bringing the queen tulip roots instead of onions.
Well, of all the endless things.
Excuse me. Would you please tell me why you're painting these roses?
Well, you see, miss, this here ought to have been a red rose tree, but we put a white one in by mistake. And if the Queen was to find out, we should all have our heads cut off, you know. So, we're doing our best, miss, before she comes here.
The queen! The queen!
Who is this? What's your name, child?
Well, I'm Alice, Your Majesty.
And who are these?
How should I know? It's no business of mine.
Over the head!
Nonsense!
Consider, my dear, she is only a child.
Eleanor! Get down! Stop that! You make me giddy. What have you been doing here?
May it please your majesty, we were trying to...
I see. Up with the head!
Oh, don't worry. You won't be beheaded.
Are the heads up?
The heads are gone, if it please, Your Majesty.
That's right, come on then!
It's a very fine day.
Oh, well, very, but, what is the name of Hearts and Chains?
He's under trial of execution.
What for?
He stole the Queen's heart.
Is that all?
Oh, hush! The Queen will hear you. You see, they were missing, and she loves her tarts.
Get moving!
Well, where are we going now?
The trial, of course.
I thought croquet.
Not anymore.
Consider your verdict.
Oh, please, Your Majesty, not yet. Mr. Crazy.
Call the first witness.
First witness!
I beg pardon for bringing this in, Your Majesties, but I hadn't quite finished my tea when I was sent for.
You ought to have finished. When did you begin?
The 14th of March, I think it was.
15, 16.
Give your evidence, and don't be so nervous about it, or I'll have you executed on the spot.
Give me evidence, or I'll be executed, whether you're nervous or not.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesties, and I hadn't begun my tea. Not another week or so. And what with the bread and butter getting so thin, and the twinkling of the tea.
And the twinkling of the what?
It began with the tea.
Yes, of course. Twinkling begins with the T. Do you take me for some kind of dunce? Go on.
A poor man. And most things twinkled after that. Only the March Hare said.
I did.
You did!
I denied.
He denies it. Leave that part out.
Well, at any rate, after that, I cut some more bread and butter.
But what did the dormouse say?
That I can't remember.
You must remember, or I'll have you executed.
No, you can't execute me.
That's all you know about it, then you may stand down.
I can't go no lower. The floor as it is.
You may sit down.
I'd rather go finish my tea.
You may go.
And just take his head up outside, please.
Call the next witness. Give your evidence.
Jan. Oh, Your Majesty must cross-examine the witnesses.
I must. What are tarts made of?
Oh, well, pepper mostly. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat.
Pull in that dormouse! Behind that dormouse! Turn that dormouse out of the court! Suppress that picture! Out with his witness!
Oh, just had a cat.
How are you getting on?
Well, they are dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is that there's anyone left alive.
And how are you liking the queen?
Not at all. She's so
Who are
extreme.
you talking to?
Oh, a friend of mine, a Cheshire cat. Please, allow me to introduce you to it.
I don't like the look of it, but I mean, kiss my hand at once.
I'd rather not.
Then it must be removed. My dear, I wish to have this cat removed.
Off with the head!
Off with its head! Off with its head! Queen's orders.
You can't cut off the head unless there's a body to cut it from.
Don't be ridiculous. Anything that has a head can be beheaded.
I've never had to do such a thing before, and I don't plan on beginning at this time of life.
And something's not done about this. In less than no time, I'll have everybody executed.
Well, in that case, now disappear. I certainly can't behead a head that's not here.
Never mind. Just call the next witness.
Alice! Me? Why would I be called?
Here,
What do you know about this business?
nothing.
Nothing whatever.
Nothing, whatever.
That is very important.
Unimportant. Your Majesty means, of course.
Unimportant. Silence! Consider your verdict!
Oh, wait, Your Majesty. There's more evidence to come. In fact, I've just picked up this paper.
What's in it?
I haven't actually opened it yet, but it appears to be a letter from the prisoner to someone.
Well, it must have been that, unless it was directed to nobody, which isn't unusual, you know.
Who is it directed to?
It isn't directed at all. In fact, there's nothing on the outside.
It's in the prisoner's handwriting.
No, and that's the strangest thing about it. And it's not a letter. It's a set of verses.
He must have imitated someone else's hand.
Please, Your Majesty, you must believe my innocence. I don't even care for tarts. I'm a bread and butter man. Besides, I didn't write that letter, and you can't prove I did. There's no name signed at the end of it.
Why, if you didn't sign your hand, it only makes matters worse for you. You must have had some mischief, or else you would have signed your name like an honest man.
That proves his guilt.
It proves nothing of the sort.
Who are you?
Oh, well, I'm Alice.
I'm Alice.
Rule number 42. No more than one person and or creature at the courtroom at any given time. Anybody in duplicate must leave the court immediately.
No. I am the only Alice.
Me too.
You are.
Clearly in duplicate.
Well, I won't go at any rate. And besides, that's not a regular rule. You've invented it just now.
It's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number one. please.
Begin at the beginning, then come to the end, then stop.
They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. They gave her 1, they gave him 2, you gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him and ourselves and it.
Why, this is the most important piece of evidence yet. Now let the jury...
I really don't believe that there's an ounce of meaning in it.
Well, if there's no meaning to it, that only saves us from a world of trouble, you know? As we need to find it. But yet, I still can't help but find some meaning to it. You can't swim, can you?
Do I look like it?
And I gave her 1, they gave me 2. Why, that must be what you did with the tarts.
But then it goes on. We all returned from him to you.
Why, there they are! Nothing can be clearer than that. But yet, before she had this fit, you never had fits, my dear, I think.
Never!
Then the words don't fit you. It's a pun! Don't you get it? Never mind, let the jury consider their verdict.
No. Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense! The idea of having the sentence first.
Hold your tongue.
I won't.
Up with their head.
Who cares what you think?
Caesar, up with their head.
Alice, please, I wish to speak with you. Alice! Oh, please, have you seen a little girl? Alice! Alice! Oh, please! Alice! Alice! Oh, can someone please help me? Alice! Alice, have any of you seen a little girl? She looks just like me. Alice! Alice, please come back. I just wish to speak with you. Alice! Oh, Alice! Alice! Really, I just want to talk. Alice! Alice!
Alice, wake up here. Why, what long sleep you've had?
Oh, I've had such a curious dream. I followed a white rabbit down this hole, and all the creatures there could talk, even the flowers too. And there was this other Alice, just like me, and she kept chasing me, and I kept running, and
You're Alice. Who am I?
There's only one you know, Alice.
I wasn't sure if I'd ever make it back home.
That's a very curious dream, Alice. Now run into your tea. It's getting late. That's a very curious dream indeed.
No. 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 No, I'm Alice. Sister! Sister, wait! Sister? Sister? Sister! Sister, wait! What?
most amazing shows. It has been a full experience. We've had so much fun, and I know that for me personally, being one of your best friends and being able to work with you has been one of the most incredible things that have ever happened to me. So thank you so much for the show.
Very close.